make a difference and touch the youth where they are.
Bringing that culture side to nice network.
I saw that the youth was looking up to us.
We got a lot of programs, but it's not everything.
Welcome to 11 Alive Uninterrupted, a space for in-depth conversations on topics that impact you with people who are making a difference in our community. In this special edition, we are focusing on Atlanta's Black youth and the help they need when it comes to safety, mentorship, and resources. And we are dedicated to finding solutions to keep them safe and help them succeed. 11 Alive Uninterrupted's Black Youth Town Hall, sponsored by Grady Hospital, brought together local leaders, hip-hop artists, school officials, parents, and teens at the Auburn Avenue Research Library to start this important conversation. And co-hosting the event with me is the one and only V103's DJ Greg Street. It's a topic that's personal to Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens.
All of us are all in this together for the Year of the Youth.
And as a product of Atlanta and now a leader in the city that raised him, Mayor Dickens launched the Year of the Youth initiative to provide Atlanta's youth with resources like jobs and mentorship opportunities.
There's kids that, just want an opportunity, a fair shake, a fair opportunity, a fair shot at having a successful life.
The mayor's goal, expand opportunities for this young generation before preventable tragedies and vigils.
Gun violence is a plague, and it is something that's affecting all the communities across America.
We are so glad Mayor Dickens joined us for this important community conversation. Thank you all so much for coming to 11 Alive's Black Youth Town Hall. I am one of your co-hosts, Naima Abdullahi, with 11 Alive, and sitting right here next to me is the legendary DJ Greg Street. This is a full circle moment though, because when I was in college, I interned under Greg Street. So for me, community has always been something that has been synonymous with everything he does. So learning from him and how to really impact the community and to always be there was something I learned earlier on in my career. What does community mean to you, Greg?
I mean, the foundation of everything that we do in the community is very important. We've gotten away from a lot of the fundamental things that makes the community strong. So this is like what we do is like, if you're really concerned, you understand what's going on in the community. On the left side, you should also know what's going on the right side.
So the mission behind this is, how can we address the issue? How can we look at the void and really examine it, not only from what's going on now, but from a multi-generational standpoint? And then how do we kind of fill that void with resources, access, opportunity, mentorship, so many things happening at the grassroots level. You may not see the foot soldiers every single day, but there are people doing this 365. So that's why it was so important for us to have this conversation. And the beautiful part about it is, there is something incredible happening in Atlanta this year. But before we talk about that, you saw the flyers on who all the speakers are today, but there was someone who was not on the flyers who wanted to be part of this conversation. And for us, it was something that just made so much of a synergy, right? Where it just made perfect sense. Please, round of applause for the mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickens. Thank you so much for coming.
All right.
When we invited you, we were so glad that you said you wanted to come pull up and have a conversation with us. This is the most Atlanta panel you will ever see. And it's such a beautiful thing. As a product of Atlanta, what does this community engagement mean to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Born and raised in the city of Atlanta, went through Atlanta Public Schools, Mays High School, and to be able to go to college here, to Georgia Tech and to Georgia State. So all things youth in Atlanta really touched my heart. It really helps me to, know what my mission is. It gets me up in the morning. Even my daughter, she's now 18, about to go off to college. So I think about youth every single day. And so that's why 2023, I have deemed it the Year of the Youth in Atlanta. I've declared that this year is the year that everything we do, we have to focus on how to educate, how to empower, engage, and employ young people. And for me, young people is a infant, all the way to 24.
Absolutely.
So 0 to 24, everything that we're doing is trying to serve these young people to remove barriers so they can get to where they want to be in life, so that they can be not just survive, but thrive.
Being a true ATLian, Andre, kicking off this panel for this Black Youth Town Hall, what comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, thinking about Atlanta and the history that we've had of great legends, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. being one, and
Yeah.
Maynard Jackson and so many others,
Yeah.
leaders all across the world that had their roots in Atlanta, and even folks that have moved to Atlanta to now, be able to add to our tapestry of beautiful people and our culture. There's a Kenyan phrase by this group called the Maasai people in Kenya. They're known to be warriors, and what they say is they
I
greet
lived
each
in Kenya, by the way,
You
so I
did?
love the fact that you're talking about
That's
this.
what's up. And so these folks, when they greet each other, you know how we say, how you doing? And
Yeah.
everybody says, fine. Well, their greeting is, how are the children? And everybody says, all the children are well. Well, they recognize that their community isn't well if their children aren't well. If the wealthy are well, if the adults are well, that's fine, but that's not the objective. If the children, the most vulnerable parts of our community are well, all the children are well means I'm doing fine, means the community is doing fine. And so that's the mentality that I come into this with, is that I want to make sure that all our children are well. Atlanta has been named the best city in the United States to live by Money Magazine. Bloomberg has said Atlanta has more going for us than any other city. But what I do know is that we have some challenges in our youth that's making it an inequitable situation. Some youth have it and some don't. It's time for us all to wrap our arms around these young people.
And one of the things that really does separate the youth in Atlanta, whether they live in Bankhead or Buckhead or no matter, is opportunities and resources. So how do we bridge that gap? Yes, we can talk about data, we can talk about statistics with what's happening in the youth, but resources may not be something that they have access to, where their imagination may not have ever been sparked in a way that they can reach their fullest potential. So how does Year of the Youth accomplish that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We know that we live in a tale of two cities. I mean, this nation is being divided to haves and have-nots, those that have significant means to pay for things, and those that are just struggling to get by. So many families have more month than money. And so when they have more month than money, every month they're trying to make a decision. Like, what am I going to pay for? I'm going to pay for my rent. I'm going to pay for some food. I might not make the healthiest choice because I only got so much. Got to pay for medicine. What am I going to do about childcare? After school program costs you $100 for karate. Costs you, $200 for computer coding classes. And so what we wanted to do was say we want to make after school programming free to low cost. At most of our programming is free. And so you come to the City of Atlanta Parks and Rec. You got some nonprofits, the YMCAs. We're saying in this year, we've given out $1 million plus in youth development grants to nonprofits that just got their hold on a certain segment of the community. They may have 50 kids that they're caring for. We're giving them fuel so that they can serve 75. We're helping them put more gas in the bus or to be able to have more seats at the table or more kits for STEM, whatever it is, so that if you're serving 100, you can serve 125. If you're serving, 80, you can serve 100. So that's what we're helping them do so that, moms are just struggling, working 2 jobs. And so
To put
we're trying
food
to
on the table.
Yeah, to put food on the table. So we're trying to fill that blank spot where, they're at home by themselves.
Yeah.
And some of them are taking care of their younger brothers and sisters. And so what do? We're trying to give them good after school programming and then some of the older kids, giving them jobs.
Right.
They need to earn some money. They got to help either pay for things in their family or they want fancy jeans and movie tickets and Six Flags too. I was a kid. I used to cut grass, and so now we're trying to help them get $15, $16 an hour. And that's why we have our summer youth employment program.